Hello, my name is Mage. Welcome to Black and White Thinking, the place where I talk about things people seem to hate. Today I'm bringing you another Harley Quinn animated series video because I love the show and the people that watch it are unproblematic angels who give me no headaches. The Harley Quinn animated series aired in 2019 on the DC app thing, starring Kaylee, last name undecipherable, I've never been able to say it, Lake Bell, and my boyfriend dad, Alan Tudyk, amongst others, and it will be continuing with a third season next year on HBO Max. See, take a look at this very gay official art they released for the third season. Makes me happy every time I see it. The Harley Quinn animated show follows, obviously, Harley Quinn, after she ends her relationship with Joker and begins to forge a new life without him, with the help of a misfit crew, and more specifically, her best friend, Pamela Isley, also known as Poison Ivy. The Harley Quinn animated show is not only great because it does the characters of Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy really well, or because it has great takes on the Gothamverse. In my humble opinion, this show is genuinely great because it's so gay. I'm gonna keep saying that, but it's true. It's also just good in regards to adult animation, which is just lacking if you ask me personally. Western animation anyway. DC Comics animation is specifically tripe. Mild spoilers ahead, but the show also spends a lot of time exploring Harley and Ivy's romantic relationship, as well as their friendship, and again, I personally believe it to be a bloody good portrayal of said relationship. A portrayal I have kind of been desperate for years to see because DC sucks. And I'm gonna ride the high that comes with the fact that we are finally beginning to make strides in the 20+ year battle against DC's censorship of the Harley and Ivy relationship. And in that vein, this video is going to be me talking about all of my favourite Harley and Ivy moments from the first season of the animated show, and more specifically why they are actually my favourite moments, and what I feel they represent the multiverse love story between sexy plant doctor and sexy clown doctor. So let's do this. If you haven't seen the show, go do that, like, right now, and then come back because spoilers ahead for my top 5 favourite Harley and Ivy moments from season 1 of the Harley Quinn animated series. Starting at the beginning, a very good place to start, let's talk about a moment that happens remarkably early in the show and remains one of my favourite Harley and Ivy moments still. In the first episode of the Harley Quinn animated show, we begin our arc by seeing Harley learn that Joker doesn't actually love her with a soft hand from Ivy. When Harley is condemned to a year in Arkham Asylum because Joker has forgotten about her, Ivy chooses to spend a year in Arkham too, a year she spends trying to show Harley that Joker is an abusive piece of shit. When Joker convinces Harley to give him another chance later in the episode, Ivy sets up a whole weird scheme where she forces Joker to show Harley that he does not actually love her. The whole first episode generally centers on Harley learning how to be free of Joker's chains with the help of Ivy's gentle, viney hands. The whole episode is powerful and adorable and full of lots of great moments between Harley and Ivy, but I specifically like this one the best.
All I'm saying is that you can do way better than Joker. I mean, you're smart, you're strong, you're in control of your own destiny.
Leave Joker for who?
I just love it so much. This moment between Harley and Ivy comes in Harley and Ivy's first sequence in the entire show. Like, it's literally 5 minutes into the entire show. And honestly, as someone who can smell sapphic content from a mile away, I can remember watching this scene for the first time and knowing in my heart of hearts that we might not be being baited this time. And, you know, fuck yeah, male Harley writing overlords, you sons of a gun. You actually let them be gay this time. Sometimes it's really obvious to me that DC isn't watching this show. This moment is so overt in its queerness. Ivy goes the lengths for Harley and frames herself in direct opposition to the Joker, only for Harley to be oblivious as hell and not yet realise that Ivy could even be a romantic option, even though Ivy consistently gives her all the things that Harley looks for in Joker. This scene is a great way to spot someone's implicit bias or to test whether they are paying attention to the show, because there is honestly no way to read this moment as anything other than gay as hell. The Harley Quinn animated show often feels like a remake, a remix even, of the original Batman animated series, and this conversation feels reminiscent of original Harley and Ivy.
Why do you put up with that clown?
Don't get me wrong, my puddin's a little rough sometimes, but he loves me, really.
Sure he does. You're just one big forgiving doormat, aren't you?
I am not a doormat. Am I?
If you had a middle name, it would be Welcome.
With a more appropriate, not 90s take on the dialogue. This show is gay, and this moment, in the first episode, does nothing but show that to you if you care to look for it. Skipping ahead to the end of season 1, not because the show lacks good moments, but because I want to keep this video a manageable length, let's talk about episode 9. In this episode, named A Seat at the Table, we see Harley enjoying her new tenure as the most recent member of the Legion of Doom, whilst also trying to patch up an argument she had with Ivy in the previous episode.
What? You're trying to sabotage me instead of confronting the fact that without me, you don't have a single friend in this world.
I don't need this shit. Like I've always said, I'm not part of your crew, so...
Oh, great, go! Run away to your stupid plants!
You know they have names!
In this scene, we see Harley has invited Ivy out to dinner to apologise, and here we see again that even before Harley and Ivy have expressed their physical feelings for each other, before they've talked about it or even kissed, that the two of them are still super queer. And though Harley doesn't necessarily notice it, this is a little bit of a date, and Ivy definitely does.
Oh, you're so fired up, Ive. You are glowing. Count me in on destroying this new factory.
Really? Great. Okay, let's meet up on Friday night and go over a plan.
Oh, no. I got this. The Legion gave me a corporate card and said I can expense any meal where I talk about doing something evil.
Yeah, once again, it's just we're saving plants. We're not actually doing something evil. You know what? Thanks, Harles.
Harley, oblivious again, even asks Ivy out on another, and it is pretty clear that Ivy thinks it is a date when she behaves like this when Harley stands her up.
Oh shit! She stood your ass up.
No, she just had to reschedule. You know, she ended her text in ugh, so I know that she just, she didn't want to reschedule, but she had to. You know, things come up, it's fine.
And this standing up of Ivy is then paralleled with Harley and Joker on a date instead, Harley having been pulled back in by his bullshit despite Ivy's warnings and leaving Ivy in the lurch. So despite the great gay yearn, why is this actually one of my favourite moments? Well, to me this moment feels really important to the character of Ivy, and more importantly how she feels about her own evidently romantic feelings towards Harley. I think this moment
is back together. Less than an hour ago, former lovebirds Harley Quinn and Joker was spotted tonguing each other down.
Hey, everyone. Oh, I'm so sorry I didn't get here sooner. I got held up at a crazy Legion board meeting and then...
Oh. It is one thing when I thought you ditched me for the Legion, but him? I thought you were better than that, man.
No.
Leads to this one.
But, Harley, you run from one thing to the next, and at some point, that's gonna be me. And the truth is, I trust you with my life, but I don't trust you with my heart.
And though Ivy hasn't told Harley how she feels directly, she hasn't exactly been subtle. And this, to me, feels like Harley's last chance for Ivy, to show her that she can put her before anyone else. That Harley could love her more than she does Joker. And Harley can't. Not right now. And it's sad as shit. And I think it's one of the things that pushes Ivy further back, partly into the closet and partly into Kite Man's arms. More importantly, I think this is the start of the real setup of what we see in season 2. A season 2 Ivy that feels like Harley has already had her chance, and a season 2 Harley who doesn't understand that she ever actually had one. Bouncing off of the last point, let me continue with episode 11 and the suppression of all of Ivy's big gay feelings. In this episode, the crew find themselves inside of Ivy's psyche, because comic book fantasy and the Scarecrow's fear toxin requires it. Whilst wandering the strange halls of Pamela Isley's mind, the gang are shown a reel of horrific reenactments of Ivy's most terrible and deadliest fears. They are all metaphorical and torturous, and each is increasingly worse than the one before. When we finally see Ivy's biggest fear, we find out it is Harley. Which could be arguably yikes if this wasn't Harley and Ivy we were talking about. This reveal is a big moment in the story, and leads to a direct conversation about actual feeling after almost a whole season of Ivy suppressing and being passive-aggressive about them, and Harley being an oblivious shambles in regards to it all.
Fine! You want to know what my biggest fear is? Finally allowing myself to count on someone and then having them ditch me.
But I was still planning on helping you!
You were my one friend, and I asked you for one favor, but instead you ditched me for the Joker who treats you like shit! I thought you could change, but I was wrong! You still live your entire life based on what he might think!
Ivy finally admits that she is feeling emotionally neglected by Harley, that it isn't okay for her to come second fiddle to Joker when he treats Harley like shit, that they both deserve better, that she loves Harley so much that she literally internalizes her as the scariest thing in the world. Because to Ivy, an abused child, wanting someone and being rejected by them is the scariest thing in the whole world. This is the conversation they needed to have at this point in the story. And the fact that they can discuss these things in their own wild way is a testament to the love and understanding these two characters have for each other. And my favourite moment is when Ivy admits this. She says it aloud with her whole ass mouth. She loves Harley, but she doesn't think Harley loves her back. Another bouncing off moment, which is probably one of my favourite moments in all of the Harley-Ivy multiverse canon. Aesthetically, metaphorically, and literally, this moment provides me all the damn things I've ever wanted. It's dramatic, and it's cute, and it's just ridiculous. So the show continues with some more Scarecrow toxic shenanigans, and the Gotham water supply is poisoned, and huge-ass monster trees are born, and they just try to fucking murder everyone. And whilst all of this is happening, Ivy's shitty boyfriend decides to try and propose to her. So, given all that, naturally, she decides to put him off and Giganta herself to save Harley in the day instead of addressing any of it. And Ivy does save Harley, and she kills trees to do it. Poison Ivy kills trees to save a cute clown. This is the queer content I crave generally, but as a fan of these two characters specifically, and someone who knows that the only thing Ivy cares about more than nature is Harley Quinn, it was really nice to see it on screen.
Gotcha. Thanks, Ive. Wow, you risked your life and killed trees for us. I thought you didn't love anything more than trees.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess there are a handful of exceptions.
I'm so sorry. I'm not great at having people who are actually good to me in my life.
Same. Most people are trash.
I promise I'll do better if you're willing to give me a shot.
Wouldn't it be messed up if I ate you right now?
And yeah, they share this lovely moment where again, Ivy admits how much she loves Harley through an awkward no homo but haha maybe homo laugh, and then quite literally seconds after, Ivy is murdered by Joker. She literally dies for Harley the same damn hour she is refusing to even answer this man's damn proposal, and it is all just very dramatic. So yeah, Ivy loves Harley more than trees and enough to die for her. Let's all jot that down real quick. For my final favourite moment of season 1, we kind of have to look at the last episode as a whole and the ramifications for Ivy's death. In this episode, we finally see Harley face off with Joker properly. And with Ivy, you know, dead, Harley is having to face him on her own for the first time. It has to be her decision to take him on and take him down, and she does it for Ivy. I'm not being over the top either. Harley literally says she is doing it for Ivy. Later in the episode, when she is shanking the Joker, and then earlier when she has a moment with Ivy at her graveside. And the earlier moment is great. Harley weeping over Ivy's headstone like some sort of Victorian Yorkshire Moor's widow, weeping hard enough that Ivy is resurrected. Again, I'm not kidding.
Wasn't it? My tears of friendship fell on your grave and brought you back to life.
Charles, I love you, but we don't live in a Disney movie, okay? It was the renewing power of nature that brought me back. And, you know, maybe the tears helped a little too.
Well, whatever it was, it makes me fucking emotional. The whole episode is Harley mourning Ivy, fighting Joker for her honour. And then when it all looks bad, in the last few moments, Ivy triumphantly returns to life like the ancient mother goddess she is, and we get something truly glorious. Ivy returns and she and Harley kill Joker by throwing him into a vat of acid like he has infamously done to Harley in 100 separate universes. And here it is, and I know I'm not alone on it, so I'm going to say it. It is really, really satisfying to see Harley and Ivy killing Joker and meaning it. In other previous and various mediums, mostly the comics, Harley gets a few moments like this, but they always feel kind of flat to me. Ivy too gets a lot of moments where she hangs Joker upside down in vines and threatens to murder him. See the newest Injustice prequel for a recent example. But Ivy never goes through with it because, well, she usually cites how hurt Harley will be by his death and ends up leaving him alive because of this. And they never really get a chance to just team up together and just fucking end the man. So yeah, this moment is good, like satisfying and beautiful and truly the perfect segue into the second part of this arc, into what is considered the second season. In this second season where we start to see Ivy and Harley forge their relationship without this motherfucker getting in the way for once. It's just what we deserve. So there we have it, my 5 favourite Harley and Ivy moments-ish from the first season of the Harley Quinn animated series. The big ones anyway. If I was naming every shot I liked, I'd be here forever because I'm really that sad. And these are only my favourite for now, let's be honest. I watched this show way too many times and will continue to rewatch it, so Who knows how I'll feel in 6 months. The context of these 2 seasons might even change with the 3rd, which is both exciting and terrifying. God, I need season 3. Anyway, if you've made it this far, let me know by telling me your favourite Harley and Ivy moment from the 1st season, because I always want to talk about them. And I hope to see you all in the coming, eventually, part 2 of this video that will be me expressing more sad, shippy opinions, but on season 2 this time. Thanks again, guys.